Good day, everyone. So I hope you can clearly hear me. Okay, so this is Chemistry for Engineers. So this is Unit 1 of Fundamentals of Chemistry, Part 6. So this is our last topic for Unit 1. So the objectives of this lecture is for you to be able to interpret the balanced chemical equations to calculate the amount of reactants and products involved in each reactions. Okay, you will be able to compare the amounts of substances actually formed in a reaction. Okay, so we can omit this. Okay, this learning objective B kasi hindi na to kasali sa topic na i-discuss ko. Okay, so you will be able to carry out calculations related to the use of solutions in chemical reactions. So this is chemical reactions and solution stoichiometry. Under that, we're going to solve chemical reactions based on stoichiometry of chemical reactions. And then I'm going to introduce to you the concept of limiting reagents. So calculations based on chemical equations. So after balancing the chemical equations, the reactants and products can be studied and interpreted quantitatively by stoichiometry. So in order to solve problems in chemical reaction to stoichiometry, so you are given here these steps on how to solve the grams or moles of a given reactant or product in an equation, okay, based on the given um, grams or mass or moles of some uh, product or reactant in a chemical reaction. So first step is to write the balance equation for the reaction, and then we use and then we convert the given amount of reactant, if it is in grams or other units, to number of moles. So if you are given the mass of a compound A, so for example we have reactant A plus reactant B to produce a product P. Okay, so these are just variables, so these are not elements that you can see in your periodic table of elements. Okay, these are just variables. So if you're given the mass of compound A in terms of grams, we use the molar mass or molecular mass of your reactant A to convert it into molar. Okay, so kumbaga, itong reaction na to, in every chemical reaction that we have, we need to convert it into moles because its language is in terms of moles. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng sabihin mo na grams lahat yan. Okay? So, in order to relate the moles of A and in order to relate A and B or P or A or P or A A and P or B and P, ganon, you need to convert your grams into moles. Okay, and then use the mole ratio of A and B from the balance equation, and then you can get the moles of B. Okay, and then use again the molar mass or molecular mass of B to get the mass of compound B. Ganun. So, for better visualization, we will have an example of this. So, as our first learning activity, so the food we eat is degraded or broken down in our bodies to provide energy for growth and function. A general overall equation for this very complex process represents the degradation of glucose, that is C6H12O6, to carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so the balanced chemical reaction for the degradation of glucose So when I say degradation or combustion, what is reacted with our organic compound, our organic compound here is the glucose, lagi ang nire-react natin dyan is oxygen, and lagi ang kanyang product is carbon dioxide and water. Okay? So, following the law of conservation of mass, so dapat equal ang mass ng product natin sa mass ng reactant. Okay, so we need to balance the equation para ma-achieve yung or ma-follow natin yung law na yun. Okay? So we are bound by the law of conservation of mass here. Okay? So given if we have 856 grams of C6H12O6 that is consumed by a person over a certain period, what is the mass of the CO2 produced? Okay? So let's try to solve a problem regarding calculations based from chemical reactions. So, learning activity 1, the food we eat is degraded and broken down into our bodies to provide energy for growth and function. The general overall equation for this complex process represents the degradation of glucose, C6H12O6 to carbon dioxide and water. So this is your equation now given to you. Okay, so you're lucky kasi given to. Pero later sa quiz nyo, it may not be given. Okay? So if 856 grams of glucose is consumed by a person over a certain period, what mass of carbon dioxide is produced? Okay, kapag kumain ang tao ng 856 grams of glucose, ilan daw ang mass ng carbon dioxide na ma-produce? So we have here our diagram, the flow of how we're going to solve this. Okay? So given tayo ng mass ng compound A, okay, that is 856 grams of C6H12O6. Okay? We use the molar mass to convert it into moles. So the molar mass of your glucose is, so let's try to solve that. Molar mass is 12 ang carbon times 6 plus 1 times 12 hydrogen plus 6 times 16 ang oxygen. So we have 180 grams per mole. Okay, so we have 180 grams of C6H12O6, okay, per mole of C6H12O6. So we are now down to the second step. Kukunin natin ang moles. So that is equal to 856 divided by 180. So that is 4.7556 moles. C6H12O6. Okay. The next thing to do is relate that in terms of the ratio of the moles sa from balance equation. Okay. So, we have coefficient 1 dito sa glucose natin, and we have 6 for carbon dioxide. Okay. So, we need to get the moles of carbon dioxide from the ratio of carbon dioxide and glucose from the equation, chemical reaction. Okay, so we have 4 natin yan, medyo naging 9. Gawin natin, so we have 4.7556 moles of C6H12O6. O6 times for every 1 mole, which is iisa lang kasi ang mole dun sa equation, 1 mole of C6H12O6, we have 6 moles of carbon dioxide. So, saan galing yung 6? Ito, galing siya sa dito. Okay? Galing siya dyan. Okay? And then, next thing to do, nakuha na natin ang moles ng carbon dioxide. So, ano yung moles niya? So, we times that by 6. So, we have 28.5333 moles of carbon dioxide. Okay? Ang tinatanong sa atin is mass of carbon dioxide. So, we have, dito na tayo part. Okay? So, 28.5333 moles of carbon dioxide. Okay, per mole of carbon dioxide, we have ilan? 44, di ba? 44 grams of carbon dioxide. So that is equal to 1,255.4667 grams carbon dioxide. So, ito na yung sagot natin. Okay? Although, pwede nyo to idire-diretso, okay, na isolve. Okay? Pinakita ko lang sa inyo yung per step. Okay? Nakita ko lang sa inyo. So, that's how we're going to solve for learning activity number 1. Okay, so, we have another example. Learning activity 2. So, in this problem, you are not given the chemical equation na. Okay? So, how many moles of water could be produced for by the reaction of 3.5 moles of methane with excess oxygen? Okay, so, more than the sufficient amount of oxygen is present, kaya excess. Okay. So, how many moles of water could be produced by the reaction? So, ibig sabihin, dito, water could be produced. Ibig sabihin, product ang water. And then, by the reaction of methane and excess oxygen. So, ibig sabihin, ang reactant natin ay methane and oxygen. Okay. Methane is CH4. And then, sabi, excess oxygen. Oxygen gas is 2O2. Produced are water and carbon dioxide. So, don't worry, equations like these na parang combustion reaction ay ibibigay ko. Hindi nyo hahanapin. Okay? Alright, so first we need to balance the chemical equation. So, we have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen dyan, di ba? So, sa reactant side natin and product side natin ito, we have 1 carbon. Sa product natin, isa lang din. Hydrogen, we have 4. Hydrogen sa product is 2. Oxygen here is 2. Oxygen here is also 2. Okay, so saan tayo maglalagay ng 2? So, 3 pala dito. So, we try to balance that by putting coefficient sa water, which is 2. Okay, so magiging 4 ang hydrogen natin. Ang oxygen natin ay magiging 4. Okay, so hindi balance ang oxygen natin, so we need to put a coefficient sa oxygen natin sa ating reactant to make it 4. So, pareho na silang 4. So, we have our balanced chemical reaction. Okay, so, lagi pag may chemical reaction, tingnan nyo muna kung balance. Kung hindi nyo kasi binalance yan, mali na yung answer ninyo. Okay? So we are given the 33.5 moles of methane. Okay, and hinahanap sa atin ay ilang moles ng water. Doon sa ating diagram or flow on how to solve chemical reactions, okay, ay hindi naman mass ang given, diretsong moles na. So, we use the ratio na agad. Okay, so we have given which is 3.5 moles of methane, which is 3H4, and gusto niyang i-relate sa water. Okay, kung methane natin 1 lang naman, water natin is 2. So, per 1 mole of CH4, we have 2 moles of water. Diba? So, cancel. So, we have our answer which is 7.0 moles of water. So, ito na yung answer natin. Diba? Napakadali. Okay, so we have our balance equation here. CH4 plus 2O2 will yield carbon dioxide plus 2 water. Okay, ito yung balance equation natin. So, kapag given tayo na, so ibig sabihin yan, di ba? 1 mole ng CH4 yan. Kasi yung coefficient niya is 1 mole lang. 2 moles of oxygen kasi coefficient niya is 2 moles. Carbon dioxide is 1 and water is 1. Okay, to get the mass of our reactant and product, okay, we use the molecular weight for our methane. We have 16.0 grams. Then, so, ang weight niya sa reactant is 16 grams. Ang weight ng oxygen ay 64 grams. A total of 80 grams ng CH4 plus O2. So, yan yung reactants natin. Sa ating product naman, we have 1 mole, pero ang carbon dioxide natin is 44 grams per mole. Okay, so we have our mass of CO2 in our product is 44 grams. So, water naman, 2 moles, 18 grams ang molecular weight times 2 natin, 36. So, if we add that, we have 80 grams of products. So, ibig sabihin, we have followed the law of conservation of mass. Okay, so kasi equal sila. Yan naman lagi. So, that is a law. Okay? Okay, so we are down to the last topic for this lecture. So, chemical reactions and solutions stoichiometry under pa din doon. So, we have the limiting reactant, okay, or reagent. Limiting reagent din ang tawag dito. So, what is the concept of limiting reagent? First, we need to define it. So, limiting reagent is the reactant used up first, which the maximum amount of product formed depends on how this reactant was originally present. So there will be no more product can be formed when this reactant is used up. Okay? While excess reagents are reactants present in quantities greater than necessary to react with the quantity of the limiting reagent. Okay, so isa-isahin natin, di ba? So ito daw yung reactant na nauubos agad, or siya yung pinakaunang nauubos. Okay? Dahil dun siya yung magdidikta kung ilan yung maximum na pwedeng mag-produce sa product. Okay? For example, para medyo maintindihan ninyo, para makaproduce tayo ng 1 sandwich, diba? Kailangan natin ng 2 bread, diba? 2 slices of bread and 1 slice of cheese. Parang ganon. So, nakaka-produce tayo ng isang sandwich by using up 2 bread, 2 slices of bread, and 1 slice of cheese. Kung given sa atin ay 20 slices of bread and 15 slices of cheese, okay? So, ilan ang mapoproduce natin na sandwich dito? Diba? So, ang mapoproduce natin ay 10 sandwiches, diba? 10 sandwiches. So, alin ang naubos? Ang naubos sa atin yung bread, diba? So, may sobra pa tayong 5 slices ng cheese. So, ibig sabihin, ang limiting reactant natin ay yung bread kasi siya yung unang naubos at siya yung nagdikta kung ilan ang maximum na ma-produce nating sandwich. Okay, sana gets nyo yun. Yun ang concept ng limiting reagent. So, dito sa quantity, 20 slices of bread, 15 slices of cheese, hindi ibig sabihin na kapag mas maliit tong isa, yun na automatically ang limiting reagent. Hindi. Depende kung ilan sa kada isa sa kanila ang kailangan to produce one product. Okay? So, dito kasi kailangan ng 2 slices ng bread para makaproduce ng isang sandwich. Samantalang isang slice ng cheese lang ang kailangan to produce one sandwich. Diba? Okay, so yun. Ang limiting reagent natin ay yung bread. Ganun. Ang excess reagent naman natin ay yung cheese. Ganun yan. Okay? So, let's consider the industrial synthesis of methanol. Okay? O kapag given na tayo ng reaction, so carbon monoxide plus hydrogen gas will produce methanol. So this is methanol. Okay, so initially 2 grams of CO and 6 moles of H2. So dito sa baba, 2 moles daw ng CO, 6 moles ng hydrogen ang magre-react to produce 2 moles of methanol and 2 moles of excess hydrogen gas. So in the equation, there are 2 excess 2 moles of hydrogen present to react with CO molecules by present. Okay, so by inspection, there was not enough CO to react with H2. So CO is the limiting reactant. So, kung naintindihan nyo yung slice of bread and cheese, okay na yan. Okay? So, I think this is the last slide. So, later on, I will give you some problems to practice. Okay? Para mahasa kayo sa concept ng limiting reagent and kung paano din mag-solve ng reactions based on chemical equations. Okay? Thank you so much for listening. God bless.